I kindly invite each one of you concentrate Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Arvindaya. Today we are going to start with epigrams of Savitri. A blind God is not destiny's architect. Number 1. This is going to be our theme till Mother's birthday. So let's start with mantras of Mother. January 29th, 1914. It is thy presence in every being, O Divine Master of Love, that makes it possible for every man, even the most cruel, to be open to pity, and even the most vile to respect, almost despite himself, honor and justice. It is thou who, beyond all conventions and prejudices, illuminized with a special light, divine and pure, all that we are and all that we do, and makest us see clearly the difference between what we actually are and what we could be. Thou art the impassable barrier set up against the excess of evil, darkness, and ill will. Thou art the living hope in every heart of all possible and future perfections. To thee all the favor of my adoration. Thou art the gateway within reach of our conception, leading to unsuspected and inconceivable splendors which will be revealed to us progressively. Works of Sri Aurobindo, the Karma Yogin, a commentary on Isha Upanishad, 1905 to 1906. Isha is the word of the Upanishad. It is with the Lord that we must clothe all things in this universe. It is the Lord whose presence, will, energy we must realize in whatever we see, feel, do, or think. It is, in other words, the Supreme Being, not in his aspect as the actionless, unknowable Parabrahman, transcendental and beyond realization by senses, mind, or speech. It is not even Sachidananda, that absolute self-centered existence, consciousness, bliss, with whom the Jnana Yogin seeks to unite himself in Samadhi. It is the eternal in his aspect as ruler of the universe. He who keeps the wheel of phenomena turning and guides its motions as the mechanician controls his machine. The karma margin aims at living disillusionized, but yet using the illusions of Maya as the materials of his yoga. He seeks to free himself from phenomena while yet living among phenomena. It is therefore Isha, Maheshwara, the Lord of the illusion, the master of multiple phenomenal life, whom he must seek and in whom he must lose his lower self. Since he works through actions, it is the master of actions whom he must worship with flowers and incense of a selfless life. Still, Parabrahman presents to the understanding two semblances or aspects by which he can be relatively, though not absolutely, known. These two aspects correspond to the two powers inherent in Parabrahman as the knower of himself, the powers of Vidya and Avidya, the power to know and the power not to know, the faculty of knowledge and the faculty of illusion. Parabrahman can know himself as he really is. This is Vidya. He can also imagine himself and he is not. This is Avidya. Prayer to Sri Aurobindo. To thee who has been the material envelope of our Master, to thee our infinite gratitude. Before thee who has done so much for us, who has worked, struggled, suffered, hoped, endured so much, before thee who has willed all, attempted all, prepared, achieved all for us. Before thee we bow down and implore that we may never forget, even for a moment, all we owe to thee. Mother's Question and Answers, 1955, 13th July 1955. Sweet Mother, what does cosmic spirit and cosmic nature mean? Universal. Cosmic is the synonym of universal. But what does cosmic spirit mean? Cosmic spirit. It is the cosmic spirit. It is the universal spirit. It is the spirit that's in the whole universe. There is a universe. You know what universe is? Well, this universe has a spirit, and this spirit is the cosmic spirit. This universe has a consciousness, and its consciousness is the cosmic, universal consciousness. One may very well imagine that the universe is only an entity in something which is still vaster, as the individual is only an entity in a much vaster totality. Now, each unit has its consciousness and its own spirit, which contain all the others. as a group consciousness is made up of all the individual consciousness which constitute it, and as a national consciousness is made up of all the individual consciousness which constitute it, and something more. The individual is only an element in the whole, even as the earth is a part of the solar system, and the solar system makes a part of all the systems of the universe. So just as there is an individual consciousness, there is a group consciousness and a consciousness of the system. A universal consciousness which is made up of set of all consciousness composing it plus something more subtle. Just like you have lots of cells in your body. Each cell has its own consciousness, and you have a consciousness which is the consciousness of your total individuality, though made up of all these small cellular consciousnesses. Mother, here it is written, there is a wall of separative ignorance between individual and cosmic consciousness. Then how to break down this wall? Get rid of the ignorance. Enter the knowledge. First of all, you must know what I have just told you, that you are a part of the whole, that this whole is a part of a greater whole, and that this greater whole is part of still greater whole, right up to its forming one single totality. Once you know that, you begin to become aware that in reality there cannot be any separation between you and something greater than you, of which you are a part. This is the beginning. Now, you must come to the point not only of thinking this, but of feeling it and even living it. And then the wall of ignorance tumbles. One feels this unity everywhere and realizes that he is only a more or less fragmentary part of whole much vaster than he, which is the universe. Then one begins to have more universal consciousness. Prayer for peace. Let us connect wherever we are as the center point of this reading, this through aspiration prayer. Whoever take parts in this global collective program. Prayer for peace. Peace, peace upon all the earth. May all escape from ordinary consciousness and be delivered from attachment for material things. May they awake to the knowledge of Thy divine presence. Unite themselves with Thy supreme consciousness and taste the plenitude of peace that springs from it. Lord, Thou art the sovereign master of our being. Thy law is our law, and with all our strength we aspire to identify our consciousness with Thy eternal consciousness, that we may accomplish Thy sublime work in each thing and at every moment. Lord, deliver us from all care for contingencies. Deliver us from the ordinary outlook on things. Grant that we may henceforth see only with Thy eyes and act only by Thy will. Transform us into living torches of Thy divine love. With reverence, with devotion, in a joyful consecration of our whole being, we give ourselves, O Lord, to the fulfillment of Thy law. Peace, peace upon all the earth. Savitri, Book 6, The Book of Fate, Canto 2, The Way of Fate and Problem of Pain. This world was not built with random bricks of chance. A blind God is not destiny's architect. A conscious power has drawn the plan of life. There is a meaning in each curve and line. It is an architecture high and grand, by many named and nameless masons built, in which unseeing hands obey the unseen, and of its master builders she is one. Queen, strive no more to change the secret will, time's accidents or steps in its vast scheme. Bring not thy brief and helpless human tears across the fathomless moments of a heart that knows its single will and God's as one. It can embrace its hostile destiny. It sits apart with grief and facing death, affronting adverse fate, armed and alone. In this enormous world standing apart, in the mightiness of a silent spirit's will, in the passion of a soul of sacrifice, a lonely strength facing the universe, affronting fate, asks not man's help nor God's. Sometimes one life is charged with earth's destiny. It cries not for succor from the time-bound powers. Alone she is equal to her mighty task. Thanks each one of you for your valuable participation. Greetings from Aurobindo. See you next time.